Elena of evolvinghumanity.com here, talking about the difference between a parenting nomad and a single nomad. And this is really fascinating because for the last month and a half, 2 months, I have been traveling without my son. To this point in my life, I've only ever traveled with him. We've done quite a few 6-month trips to Mexico, going back and forth. And there are differences. There are definite differences between traveling with children and traveling without children, especially when you're making this a part of your lifestyle. The biggest one is that there are no children when you travel without children. You meet totally different people. I haven't met a single other parent. I met one other parent in this trip so far, because I don't have that piece of like, here's my child, I gotta find other children. So for the first time in my adult life, I'm making friends with people who are actually in my like peer group, age group, whereas before I was making friends with other parents who, because of our generational gap thing, are usually in their 30s or 40s. When you are traveling without children, you don't have to think about childcare. You don't have to think about food nearly as much. You know, you just feed yourself when you're hungry. You go whenever you need to go. You don't have to think about bedtimes and being in a routine that's really stabilized. You don't have to deal with small children running around in lineups at border crossings. 14-hour, 36-hour, 40-hour flights is like not that much fun, but no big deal. You don't have to manage somebody else's energy and help them in that process. What else? I didn't have to think about schools when I landed. I didn't have to think about whether or not the place that I was arriving in was safe for a small child to explore in. I didn't have to think about who they were going to be friends with or how they were going to connect with other people. And there's this piece of having been a single parent and having been currently a single non-parent, don't have to think about what I do in any given moment of the day in relationship to the child care of my child. That's all I can think of right now. It's very different. We'll talk about it more.